at the end of the calendar, numbers 26 and 27, and he has declined counsel and would like to proceed on his own. I believe
Mr.
had been this matter before.
Yeah, Mr. Valentine, you had an attorney appointed, and then you didn't come back the way we needed to come back way back in March. So you got an attorney sitting there, an experienced criminal defense attorney, might help you. Would you like to take the advantage of having Thurston County Public Defense represent you again?
No, ma'am.
Can you tell me why?
Because I would like to proceed sui juris, because I believe I have my best interests, and I don't think anyone else in this court has my best interests.
All right. Well, first, there are a couple of warrants. I'm going to turn to the prosecuting attorney, Mr. Abid, first, and see what their recommendation is on this warrant return, and then I'll turn to you. So I'll just allow you to represent yourself today as you want to. Mr. Abid?
Your Honor, the state would object to releasing Mr. Valentine, and the alternative, the state asks that the court set substantial bail on both of these matters. The first one, ending in the cause number 693, is a case, is an old case. Mr. Valentine, I'm seeing, has substantial failure to appear history. This is here's sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Valentine was on warrant status for a significant period of time. In March, the court issued a $15,000 warrant on each case. The court, Your Honor, or the state, Your Honor, asks that the court impose bail in the same amount as the warrants.
And this is first DUI from November of 2021, and then the second allegation, January of 2024.
Correct.
And were these, one, it appears, was an allegation of a breath sample of 0.14, and the other from 2024, do you know the allegation?
My notes show that the 2024 allegation was included a refusal.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Valentine, what the state's asking me to do is have you post about $30,000 cash or a bond bail, and consider those same restrictions that were on you before, that you show up at pretrial services, that you stay clean and sober, you stay law-abiding, you give UAs, you be on a device that's attached to your person to make sure you're not consuming alcohol. What do you have to say?
I object to that, Your Honor. I did make my best effort to show up at court, even when I didn't show up, because I was confused about the dates. The clerk told me the wrong date. I showed up. I gave the clerk a letter. I wrote a letter to the court, and I also wrote counterclaims and responses to the State Attorney General's office, and I got no response from either. I went to try to squash the warrant. They told me that they wouldn't squash the warrant.
Welcome back to the channel, where we dissect courtroom chaos one sovereign citizen at a time. Today we're in Thurston County, Washington, with Mr. Valentine, yes, that's his real name, who insists on representing himself in not one, but two DUI cases. Predictably, it goes exactly as you'd expect. He claims he's not a person, only a living man, and believes driving laws don't apply to him. The judge remains calm and professional, though you can practically see her patience silently detonating through the screen.
Reoffend and a risk to commit, another DUI or vehicular assault or homicide, given the history, while under the influence. So you're a danger to the community is what I'm finding. And you don't come back when we order you to come back, and you don't comply with court orders. So $15,000 cash or bond has to be posted on each one of these separately, and then you have to get yourself into pretrial services within 48 hours of release and have a scram device attached, stay clean and sober, stay law-abiding, in order to stay out of custody. No alcohol, no marijuana, no non-prescribed drugs, no bars or taverns, and don't drive unless you have a good license and proof of insurance. I'm going to set another court date. We would do this.
What jurisdiction is this court operating under, Your Honor?
Thurston County District Court here in the state of Washington.
Or what jurisdiction are you trialing me under?
What jurisdiction? Thurston County District Court, Thurston County, state of Washington.
That's not what, is this under a common law jurisdiction?
I'll have you research all that yourself, sir. I'm not going to argue with you. I have jurisdiction over you and over this matter.
So is this court operating common law, ma'am?
I'm talking to my clerk. 1 second. And make it clear, good, that he's proceeding pro se and that we need to do.
I am not pro se. I'm a sui juris.
All right. You're proceeding without an attorney.
This is the core misconception of every sovereign citizen, believing no one has their best interests, so they reject professional help. What they overlook is that public defenders are trained specialists who navigate these exact legal landmines daily. The judge even uses the perfect analogy: you wouldn't fly your own plane just because you think you know best. Yet these defendants treat courtroom logic like DIY YouTube tutorials, forgetting that here, one wrong move doesn't cost a few dollars. It could cost your freedom.
I think you're a human being and you're covered by the laws of the state of Washington.
A human being and a person are two different things.
No, I'm not interested in semantics. So
I'm trying to get down to the facts, ma'am.
You can define things the way you want, but the law is not agreeing with you. All right, we're going to be back on September 20th, 1:30. We'll probably talk some more about your decision to represent yourself, and that's fine. But don't be surprised if whichever judge is there has another discussion with you about that. And at any time, you can ask the court to appoint an attorney. Anytime you can hire an attorney to represent you too. You're not prevented from that. So we'll be back on September 20th, and you need to be back in court. If you're still in custody, we'll hear you in custody. And if you do post bond, you have an obligation to get into pretrial services within 48 hours and comply with them for sobriety monitoring, and that substance use monitoring program will pay for the Scram device.
Can we change the venue, ma'am, for lack of jurisdiction?
Well, you'll have to file all your motions in writing, and then you serve them as well on the prosecuting attorney, and then we'll set motion hearings.
I don't have the resources to do that in custody, ma'am.
I think you do.
I don't. There's not much paper here. There's no computers I can use, no printers. They're not giving me post.
Offering you Thurston County Public Defense.
The classic sovereign citizen claim. I am not a person, I am a living man. This stems from a mix of outdated contract law and internet folklore. They think rejecting the label of person rejects jurisdiction, but in reality, it only signals to the judge that they don't understand the law. It's like saying, I don't accept gravity. You can claim it, but the rules don't bend. The court enforces legal definitions, not personal beliefs.
Ms. Moore, is Mr. Valentine, is that Mr. Valentine with you by chance?
Yes, it is.
This is Mr. Valentine,
Okay.
Your Honor, wishes to proceed without counsel.
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah, hold on. I'll let you know when I need to hear from you.
okay.
So, Ms. Moore, has your office appointed somebody to replace Mr. Gaslin?
Your Honor, we were not appointed at the last hearing, and I'm not asking for appointment today as Mr. Valentine is declining representation. I have advised.
Okay, I'll take care of it. Thank you. Mr. Valentine, as Ms. Moore has indicated, you've told her you want to represent yourself. I'll tell you that's a huge mistake. I will treat you like you graduated from law school. I'm going to guess that because you're sitting there next to Ms. Moore, you have not graduated from law school, but you will be treated as if you had, which means I will expect you to know everything that I expect every lawyer to know. I will expect you to do the things that I expect every lawyer to do. I will expect you not to do any of the things that a lawyer is expected not to do. All that means that you haven't been trained in those areas, and yet I'm going to hold you to those standards. You would be making a bad mistake if you represent yourself, particularly because with two cases like this, you're probably looking at potentially up to 2 years in jail. So
This moment is brilliant. A judge quietly exposes how out of his depth Valentine really is. He throws around common law and rules like they're magic keys, but in state criminal court, they're irrelevant. Common law builds statutes. It's not a get-out-of-jail card. The judge calmly corrects his misinterpretation without raising her voice, demonstrating professional restraint. At this point, she's not just ruling a case, she's delivering a masterclass in civics.
There are a couple of attorneys sitting behind you from Thurston County Public Defense. Did you want the court to appoint counsel or not?
No.
Were you going to hire your own attorney on the matter or represent yourself?
I've made it clear throughout all these proceedings that I'm proceeding sui juris.
Okay. I just need to always make sure of that. We've got confirmation set for the 8th. What is it today that you want to do?
I wanted to argue in some motions that I submitted to the court. A motion to dismiss, a judicial notices that I've dismissed about misconduct of the court and denied of access to the court. And I believe a motion to strike as well.
Motion to strike what?
It was a motion to strike. You guys had served a motion, no testimony to my house. I'm not sure what that was. The motion was never served to me, and the docket was never served to me either. It was mailed to my home. I'm not sure why, because the state was aware that I was in custody, but that's what my motion to strike was pertaining to.
Okay. Well, this is your motion today.
Here we go again, the classic. What jurisdiction is this court under? Every sovereign citizen eventually plays this card, hoping the right words make the case vanish. Spoiler, it doesn't. Court jurisdiction comes from the state constitution and criminal code, not internet theories or common law debates. The judge's patience is Olympic level, calmly repeating, Thurston County District Court, like a teacher explaining homework to a stubborn student who refuses to open the book.
Yeah, I objected to his denial of those motions as well, because I already submitted an affidavit of prejudice and he disqualified himself. So he shouldn't have been making any judgments on the case after that point. He also said himself that today was going to be a special motion docket where my motions were going to be heard today.
So what I reviewed is what was filed after the 18th, and that was October 21st. I have a request to release you and your request, I'll go back. Let me get back to your court to dismiss these charges, motion to release you, and that's what I reviewed. So is there something else pending that I was not aware of after the 18th?
On this October 18th, there's one that says in Laserfish motion to request discovery, parentheses 020, parentheses. In that one, that's based on the state's notes. It shows that that was the only motion that was going to be argued today.
All right, Mr. Valentine, it looks like I need to go back and kind of review real quick those issues. I thought they were all heard on the 18th. And either you can just sit right there while I read everything here, or which probably is the best thing to do. So let me just review all that you filed here again. Then I'll turn right back to you, so just hang in there. So, just before I get to everything, Mr. Valentine, motion request, I guess you titled it to request all of the discovery in this case, but you say that it seems to me, maybe I'm misreading one, that Michael Valentine had an attorney in the early stages of the hearings. Is that just a fact, or are you asking the court to appoint counsel?
I was stating a fact that at the beginning of these proceedings, I was working with an attorney.
And then they never gave you the discovery. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. All right. Get it.
That's the
Thanks.
state's understanding as well, Your Honor.
All right. I've had some time here to re-review and review what's been filed in the court file from the 18th of October on forward. As to your motions from the 18th on forward and the doc.
I don't consent. The sovereign citizen's final stand. They think refusing verbally strips the court of authority. Wrong. Jurisdiction isn't optional. If it were, prisons would be empty and traffic tickets non-existent. The judge's response. Your consent is not necessary. Isn't harsh, it's fact. Law doesn't run on feelings or consent forms. It runs on statutes, evidence, and rulings. This moment perfectly exposes the clash between fantasy law and real justice.
Otherwise, all the rest will just hear the day of trial, get that figured out. Are you prepared to go to trial on the 18th and 19th?
No, I'm still waiting for some documents from the Office of Assigned Counsel, a request for stipulated facts, the case transcripts, bonds, and bar numbers of the individuals of the case.
Okay, let me ask you, how is that going to impact your defense at trial?
Because I need to go over the documents and the case transcripts, things that I've submitted and things that have been done by government officials in the case previously.
But what does it have to do with your defending against the charge? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So that may be something that you want to, I'm not sure what you want to do with that. If you're thinking that there's governmental misconduct or ineffective assistance of counsel, or you want to make a bar complaint or something.
All of the above.
Yeah, that doesn't impact the issues as to bringing a trial forth on the charges.
Well, it does, because I'm going against the state, and the state's governmental misconduct is a direct effect of how the case is turning out.
Okay, so let's put that aside. Would you be ready to present your defense?
Once I get those documents, I will be able to.
Okay, all right. And so those documents would be transcripts of the court records.
Yes.
And
a request for stipulated facts.
I don't know what that is, stipulated facts. What do you mean by that?
I made a judicial notice.
Valentine returns for another hearing, this time with his entire family in tow, likely hoping moral support will sway the judge. The new judge wastes no time. Self-representation is a monumental mistake. Calm, professional, and precise, he outlines the real risks: up to 2 years in jail, complex legal procedures, and no safety net. It's a masterclass in judicial professionalism confronting defiant ignorance.
Something from the prosecutor that I can't quite figure out. You want information about the previous attorneys that may have represented you for a short
Yeah, I wanted
time?
the communication between previous counsel and the prosecution, the case transcripts, and the bonds on record, and oaths of office.
Okay, of the oaths of office of the prosecutor. Who?
You and the prosecutor, and for the attorneys that I previously had.
Well, for me, you could just go to the auditor, state auditor, or in the city or the county auditor. They have everything there. Prosecutors, you can always ask the prosecuting attorney's office. I don't find that.
The Office of Assigned Counsel can't provide me with that?
You can certainly, ask them too. Ask them for their people what they have. I can't say.
Okay, I haven't got a response yet. I've sent the email. I've called them and sent the email.
All right. So again, you're representing yourself. Still trying to figure out how those are impediments to.
Because even though I'm representing myself, the court is still obligated to provide legal assistance.
The court isn't supposed to provide legal assistance to either side of you. We're supposed to make sure things are done right and fairly. I can't assist you in your trial. That would be wrong, because I can't assist the state either in their trial.
Don't I have a constitutional right to counsel?
You do, and we did appoint Thurston County Public Defense at one point.
So yes, they are appointed to provide legal assistance for me.
Yeah, and so,
When I put in my motion, I said that I didn't want to be represented, but I still wished to have legal assistance.
yeah,
I just
well,
don't want anyone speaking for me.
so you want standby counsel is what we would generally call it. Someone who would pretty much sit in the audience, and if you wanted to step back and ask a question of them, you could ask a question of them. A lawyer from Thurston County Public Defense. That's pretty much the utmost of what a standby counsel does. Is that what you're asking for? Because you,
I'm asking for legal assistance. It's my understanding that I have a constitutional right to counsel.
sure.
And so I'm asking that the state in some manner provide me with someone who will assist me with my legal affairs. I don't want to be represented or deceived into taking someone else's opinion of how to handle things.
Well, you don't get to kind of pick and choose how it's done.
And there it is, the We the People Declaration, classic sovereign citizen theatrics. He throws around constitutional language while blatantly ignoring the Constitution that defines judicial authority. Both judges gave him every chance to comply, understand, and course correct, yet he doubled down, proving that ideology without understanding leads straight to self-destruction. This case is a perfect example of why courtroom sovereignty fails. It's not rebellion, it's ruin.